London.
I had a suspicion that might happen, Tim. Hi, welcome to today's vlog. Yesterday I did get to go to the Churchill War Rooms. Today I am, as I've said in the vlog title, trying to get my Mark VI adapted and trying to get my fingers sorted so that I might be able to play pain-free at the moment. Those of you who don't know, I broke my finger about 18 months ago. I'll talk about it in this vlog. It got better. I sort of journeyed through that with you sort of last year up to about November when I had this gig. And after the gig, everything seemed to be going okay, the finger was getting better, and then around about 3 or 4 months ago, I started getting a lot of pain in my finger when I've been playing a gig for about an hour and a half's time. You know, if I'd finished a gig, I was getting a lot of pain in the finger that I'd broken. I was very fortunate to be referred by the British Performing Arts Medicine Trust to see a specialist hand surgeon who deals with musicians, who was amazing. He basically diagnosed the problem, as I mentioned in this vlog. I need to get some form of sleeve fitted as well as getting the saxophone adapted. The bad news is I can't seem to be able to get referred to the hand therapy people who dealt with me last time because of the beautiful bureaucracy of the British National Health Service, which is wonderful and I love it and it's amazing. Do not consider this as a rant against the NHS. There are just some times when we have bureaucracy involved. Basically, my doctor doesn't think that they can refer me directly to hand therapy and has to refer me to a surgeon. There's no point seeing a surgeon because I've already seen a surgeon, so my GP said, well, look, why don't you just contact someone privately if you need it doing quickly, which is what I do. And the private clinic don't bother answering the phone. So private enterprise is all well and good, but if their customer service is dreadful, what are you going to do about it? So I've actually managed to get an appointment just now to go and see my GP, who is hopefully going to be able to refer me to hand therapy. And then we'll also continue the journey as we go into Cambridge, Woburn and Reed as they help me adapt my Mark VI, which will hopefully enable me to play a gig I've got tomorrow night, pain-free, and more importantly, be able to get back into a decent practice regime. Because if you've watched this vlog where I talk about practice, this chart has not had a lot of ticks recently because I've been told to rest the finger. Seeing the doctor straight in, straight out, it's kind of like an unbelievable experience. She's very nice, in fact. Anyway, she's going to write to hand therapy people to see if they'll see me, but she said she doesn't hold out much hope and doesn't know whether it's going to break the system, and the computer will say no.
Computer says no.
So back now to teaching. I've got a full-on morning in, and then we're going to head to Cambridge to Woburn and Reed. I've also got to take Katie's MacBook in because somehow it got juice spilt on it. Good night, piano to that. So sadly, they can't take Katie's MacBook in today, even on a walk-in. I understand why. It's just the way it is. So I'm gonna have to come back another day with it, maybe Thursday. So until then, I now need to nip to Woburn and Reed, and we'll see if we can get my Mark VI adapted to help me with this finger problem. I had a suspicion that might happen, Tim. So sadly, we couldn't get the saxophone done today because Daniel, who should have been there, he told me he'd be in today, forgot and is in London today. So anyway, we did actually diagnose the issue and have come up with a solution, and that is to unsolder the G key from its current rod, extend it, but he'll need it for a few days in order to do it, to get it right, to get it soldered back on again. So I've made arrangements to drop it in. I've got a quiet-ish March, but I've been able to use the time to talk about, to do some emails, get some emails ready for some gigs, some very positive experiences coming up. It looks pretty certain I'm going to be in Berlin either this summer or possibly, very poignantly, on November the 11th, which will be the 100th anniversary of the armistice that ended the First World War. And to be able to be in Berlin and doing a concert that evening, particularly when I started in 2014, when it was the 100th anniversary of the First World War, I started, it was the 200th birthday of Adolf Sachs, and I played on the roof in Westminster. For a concert that was taking place in Berlin, and I played Coltrane deliberately as a call for peace, and it was very poignant that that was over Remembrance Weekend 2014. So 100 years since the First World War started, 25 years since the Berlin Wall came down, and we were there playing music to a concert in Berlin. It was just very, very special. So if this comes off, and I do indeed end up in Berlin on November the 11th, I'm sure that will be a very, very, very special occasion. Always saddens me a little bit that I didn't get to hear Joshua Redman until I was kind of early 20s, 19, 20, when I mistakenly saw him on an episode of Arthur. I think I'd actually heard him as well, maybe on the Jazz, Ken Burns, well that was until 2001, so I must have heard him before Arthur. But I wish I'd known about him more in the 90s. So many of my contemporaries were listening to him in the 90s, and it just wasn't on my radar at all back then. I wish he had been, because some of this stuff, like the James Brown stuff, his Blues on a Sunday, Sunny Side of the Street, there's some really, really good, it's just nice jazz stuff that I think would have appealed to me as a teenager, a little bit anyway. So I've done this once already. This is what happened. Never mind. I keep saying I need a light that tells me when the microphone's on there. Anyway, sorry we actually didn't get, well, I'm more annoyed than you are, I mean, watching the title, that we didn't actually get the 6 adapted, but I'll show you now on the instrument exactly what we're going to do with it. So if you see the G key here, what I'm doing when I'm playing it in order to cause the problem is I'm sort of playing it, if I move it up there, I'm playing it when I'm stretching to hit like that a lot of the time, not necessarily intentionally, but hitting the bottom corner all the time. And if you think about how many times I'm doing that over a course of a gig or a practice session, it's an awful lot of time. So what we're going to do, Tim said he can do, is he can unsolder this G key here, take it down a bit, just so it comes out about, I mean, it really needs to come out 2 or 3 millimeters, just so my hand can rest in this position here. So move this down that way, and then I can stretch here. I've probably just got used to how this 6 works. I mean, on my balanced action, the keys were actually further round even more. Maybe it would have been easier. I've actually taken the, where's the D key? I've taken the rubber extender off the D key so that I can try and get my hand lower. So I'm not, I mean, I say this to students a lot, you don't want, I mean, I don't play with my hands up here anyway, I'm pretty good with my hands, but I probably need to bring my hand around even further than I have been doing in the past. So I've got rid of these. Now, normally I like those really, really close, but you know, needs must get it round. Just a quick little thing before I finish. Please consider heading over to my Patreon page. The link is below. It's patreon.com/Dan Forshaw. whilst this channel has done amazingly well and we've broken 5.5, in fact we're nearly up to 6,000 subscribers already, which is amazing. I am grateful to every single person who even spends 5 seconds watching one of my videos. By the way, Santa Plays Sax is now to 220,000, which is amazing. If only I'd charged £1 each to view. No, I couldn't do that. But in all seriousness, I've got an invitation in the bag to take Jazz Festivals to Edinburgh, but I've got to fund it. The Arts Council in Britain are just kind of not answering emails at the moment or phone calls. I just cannot get an answer from them, and I just feel like giving up, and I don't want to give up on the project. But musicians can't work for free. I mean, my guys are amazing, but they will not go all the way up for free. Cathedrals can barely afford to keep the heating on, and I really want to get this concept done where we have a gig in a jazz club one night, and the same band playing the same music in a cathedral the next night, Jazz Club Cathedral, to try and show how amazing this music is and how it can be played in so many different spaces. I'm going to launch a Kickstarter later this week to help fund this trip to Edinburgh for the band. It will be great if you'd be part of it. I'll come up with some things. It's during Jazz Festival, so if you've never been to Scotland before and you want to be part of the Jazz Festival there, it takes place towards the end of July. It will be amazing if we could make it happen, but I'm giving you guys, as my loyal YouTubers, a little heads up first before we go for that. Patreon, you get the chance to, I want to get this live lounge idea sorted. I really want to get doing this. I was thinking today, I was going through my business plan, and I try and plan out, I used to do it every year, and now I'm realizing I haven't actually written one since 2015. It was great to go through and see back in February, March 2015, setting the target to do the Jazz Vespers album, to record it, to launch it, and to see that whilst I didn't do it in 2015, I did do it in 2016. I was able to go through this and go, done, 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 done. And also the new ways that YouTube has given me. I'm going to talk more in future episodes about mission statements, about what, you know, what I really feel I want to achieve, not just through YouTube, but through all the things I do. And I'll share with you kind of, one idea is to inspire you guys, to inspire other people to have creative opportunities themselves. So mostly through music, but if by me shooting a video at the Churchill War Rooms, it encourages you next time you're a musician to grab your phone and record a little bit and talk about that, to be creative, I'm happy. I really feel like I'm fulfilling that mission. I'm really moving things forward. Anyway, that's enough for tonight. I want to thank you very much for tuning in and watching this episode. Please check out my last vlog here. This is what I was up to this time last year. Please hit subscribe if you don't already, but if you do already subscribe, please head over to patreon.com/Dan Forshaw, or go and visit if you're a saxophone player, go and visit cambridgesaxophone.com, pick up 4 free lessons from me right now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you really soon.